You've got your book, you've got your dice, you've got your character sheets, and now you have your players. But what do you actually do? Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to play TTRPGs for your very first time. Essentially, a TTRPG is just a collaborative storytelling device. Unlike a board game that essentially has a start and a finish, this, it doesn't. You are free to do whatever you want within the constraints of a set of rules. Typically, these rules are set and bound by the system that you decide to play. So, for example, if you're playing Call of Cthulhu, you'll be an investigator in the 1950s, kind of investigating ethereal, eldritch stuff. Spooky stuff. And if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, you'll be fighting dragons in dungeons. And if you're playing Mörk Borg, you'll be trying to die in the funniest way possible. However, assuming you already have the rulebook, assuming you know what dice do, you know all this stuff, how do you actually start? Well, there's going to be two different sides. One is going to be a game master, which you know, and other player characters, which you should already know. Two different sides of the same coin. One cannot work without the other. Game master is there to impose those rules and to push a story if that's where you're going. The player characters is there to push the boundaries of those rules and piss you the fuck off. So let's take a look. Piles of bodies at your feet. Fire in the air. The dragon on its pillar, ready to fight. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna roll charm to see if I can fuck this dragon. God damn it. Refreshing. So let's split this into two different groups. Let's go with player characters, and then we'll go with game master. The player character's job is to explore the world. This is the easiest job. The game master is gonna have such a harder time, so I always recommend start as a player character. If you've never DM'd or done anything, start as a player character unless you're really brave, because it's hard. It's really hard. The player characters will have a character sheet, which is going to tell them their name. It's going to tell them what they're good at, what they're not good at, how much money they have. Essentially, just their whole character. It's a character sheet. But that's great. But then what do you do? When do you roll for what? When do you fight things? When do you do anything? Well, that is up to your game master. Your job as a player character is to react to the situation. Just like you and me, we're reacting to the natural world. If a meteor comes and hits us, what am I gonna do about it? Absolutely nothing, but I'm gonna react and scream, ah! You know, but what else am I gonna do? That's exactly your point as the character. You're gonna be reacting in whatever way you see fit to the situations that your game master is gonna present to you. You're gonna form bonds, you're gonna beat bad guys, you're gonna be a fucking super cool, super cut kind of guy. That's great. Now the game master is going to have a super hard time because their job is a billion times harder. Now the game master is essentially going to have the hardest job. They're going to be writing a whole world, a buttload of characters, just a lot of information and story to drive the characters to do things. Like I said before, it's not really a start to finish kind of game, it's a collaborative storytelling. So you're all going to be telling a story that the game master has set for you. So classic, two paths diverge, which one am I going to take? Neither. I'm going to fly the opposite direction and ruin the entire story. It is your job as the game master to react to those situations and just hope that the team has a good time trying to mess up all your goddamn plans. Now, if you've picked up a story module, great, you're off to a good start. However, I hate them. They're always laid out awful. They give you too much information and then not enough at the same time, especially for a first-time game master. When I first opened up my very first module, I hated it. It was awful, it was super confusing. None of it makes any sense. I was expecting it to be, go there, characters do this, go here, characters do this, go here, characters do this, go here. It's not like that. It tells you blurbs, and then blurbs, and then blurbs of information, and then your job is to put stuff in there. But it doesn't tell you that. So I hate that. I hate that so much. Some modules, however, which I prefer, just give you a location with a map and then different encounters in those situations. That gives you a super clear cut of, oh, I'm gonna be putting a story in here on what's going on, and people are gonna be reacting to it. This is just the map. So the location one's fantastic. However, the more you play, the more you'll kind of understand what's going on. Let's say you've read all the rules and essentially 11 or above, yes, 10 below, no. And essentially that's all any RPG is. It's either gonna tell you yes or no. But your game master is gonna tell you, you wake up in a tavern, you have no memory, the bartender's there wiping their glass, and what do you do? Now this is the most classic opening to any RPGs, is memory loss, are in the tavern, and you're gonna have a directive on what to do. Why this is so popular is because it gives you an objective automatically. You don't have your memories. why, and it gives you a direction. There's a bartender, you know to go ask them. It's super simple and everybody uses it all the goddamn time, and everybody's sick of it, but damn does it work. At the end of it, the Game Master is going to be setting up a set of challenges for the players to overcome. Essentially, every game follows this pattern. The Game Master is going to present you with an obstacle. The player characters are going to react and roll a dice to see if they can overcome that obstacle, and then the Game Master is going to give them a consequence or a congratulations, you did it. Now, one of the hardest part to kind of wrap your head around is free roam, essentially. You are used to having a set path in video games or board games where you can only go here, or you have this that you can do. Great. The hardest part of it, though, is keeping your world together. And what I mean by that is, when do you use encounters? When do you set up challenges? When do you do all of this stuff for your player characters? Well, it's a difficult question because it's all going to depend on what exactly you're trying to do. So let's just say you're in a village. And in this village, you've come up in your head, hey, this is a pretty peaceful village. Not a lot of things can happen. What you can do is use the dice to your advantage. You know that this is a peaceful village, so nothing much happens. Roll a d20. On a 1, something bad's gonna happen, and then everything else, 2 to 20, nothing bad's gonna happen. And you can just do this for whenever you want, or like the player characters go into a house, roll a d20. They go back into the street, roll a d20. Roll into the alleyway, roll a d20. Use dice to your advantage. They kick so much ass. And essentially just create this table for yourself of, when is it dangerous? When in my mind do I think this would be dangerous? As soon as they leave the city, sure, you're still close, but you're outside. There's less guards to kind of protect you. So now maybe the roll is 1 to 5. So if you roll on a d20, you get 1 through 5, boom, an encounter happens. How do you pick which encounter? That's when you think of it, oh, they're pretty low level, so I'm going to pick a low level encounter. The book that you're using should give you a list of monsters that you can use based on their level. However, that is leaving it up to chance, and if you want to not leave it up to chance, you set your own rules. So back to my wake up in a tavern, you wake up in the tavern and you go up to the barmaiden and you say, hey, what's going on? I don't remember anything. And she might say, oh, you guys were here since last night and you had a bet with this mysterious gentleman named X, and he wagered all your memories, and now you have to go find him to retrieve your memories. Perfect. Now your player characters know that they need to go find Mr. X and get their memories back. But then all of a sudden, a bar fight happens, and now combat happens. Super classic, super easy. Whenever you see fit to add an encounter, add it. If you think it's going to slow the story, maybe not add it, but when you know it's going to excite the story, then go for it. Because you don't want to go to a dragon cavern and then there not be a dragon. Go ahead and just add a dragon. Here's a tip though. Don't feel too constrained as the game master to follow the story. If your player characters are coming up with their own story that seems more exciting, go for it. It is all about collaborative storytelling, so don't try to railroad your players. You're just here to make sure they are having a good time. You're providing the pizza and they're eating it. It takes a special kind of person to be a game master, and I do believe that everybody should try it at least once. But it is very difficult and it does make your mind work. At the end of it, playing an RPG is messy, it's fun, and it's fucking awesome. Don't be afraid to use your resources. Every time I play, I have my laptop open with all the tabs I would ever need, and then I still need more. I have so many books and notebooks and everything like that, and at the end of it, I don't even use any of it. I just come up with something in my imagination and then I forget it for next session, and everybody has an absolute blast. If you have any specific questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer them the best that I can. If you want to see something more detailed, go ahead and ask me, I'll make another video for you. But with that, happy gaming, and I'll see you around.